right. Podcast with Jess. First episode, first time. We're just gonna shoot some shit. Uh, we don't have a structure. It's so unprofessional.
It's recording?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, cool. What's up, guys? So me and Taha have been talking about doing this podcast for quite a while, and we kind of got a little bit busy, so stepped away from it. But now we're doing it, and expect weekly, if not bi-weekly episodes. We want to bring you guys a lot of value. We want to bring you guys in and out of coaching. We don't want to leave. We don't want to gatekeep anything. Really, our goal is just to deliver value to everybody there, answer your questions uh, with regards to anything life, juice, peptides, off-season, cheat meals, whatever you guys want to know about us. We're open books. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I say we start with a small introduction. Introduce yourself, what you
Yeah.
do, and then I'll
Yeah.
start with myself.
Yeah, so my name is Jesse. I've bachelor's in biochemistry, and I've been in the coaching space for about, I want to say, 10 years. I've been taking it seriously the last 4 years, I would say, where focusing, more on prepping clients, taking the business a lot more seriously. Currently working on a separate business, which I'm not going to say just yet. Taha knows a little bit about it. And when all that's ready, we will release it to the public and have a nice discount for all of the viewers of the podcast. So
Awesome.
a little bit about me.
So me, Taha, known the brand Taha Therapy Coaching. First started lifting when I was 17. I'm 30 years old now. At the age of 23, I took the decision to get into competitive bodybuilding, but I didn't end up doing my first show until I was 29. What happened from the age of 23 to 29, I had a career transition. I used to work in the aerospace field. I was a composite material technician. So I was doing carbon fiber parts and fiberglass parts in the aerospace industry. And then I transitioned into the health space where I went to study into osteopathy. I did 4 years out of the 5-year program, and then I pulled out to focus fully on coaching. I did personal training for 5 years from 2020 to 2025, and then 2025, last year, 2024, after Jesse's national, I decided to transition fully into online coaching, and that's what we've been doing now for exactly 1 year. And I think
Been
we're doing
killing
good.
it ever since, bro. Of
Yeah. It's working better than what I expected for the first year, to be honest. What's
course.
cool about the viewers, they should know that me and Jesse are on the same team. We have the same coach. So Jesse has been working with Khaled, I think 1 year before me. You've been with him for 3 or 4 years now.
I want to say almost 3, because I did my first show with him. This is going to be my 5th show. I did,
Fifth show with Khaled.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but when I hired him initially, I was, I think, 6 weeks out. So I really went to him last minute and I was like, listen, if I don't commit to this now, I'm not going to do it. So the first 2 shows was kind of like whatever, like very low attention, very, he was kind of just getting to know me. But yes, this is going to be the full second year. So I want to say about 2 years and a bit I've been with him. And I
How
think you joined not long after me.
Yeah. How did it start? Like you first time seeing him, talking with him, and getting it
So
with him.
I've been following him since like 2013, right? Because I used FitLog when I first started getting into the coaching space. And after working with my last coach, so I used to work with James Ayat, and I did my last show with him in I think it was 2017 or something. And then I kind of was in a relationship that was not supportive of my sport. So I kind of backed out of competitive bodybuilding. I backed out of bodybuilding altogether, and really got out of shape and everything. And I was going through like a real rough patch in life. And I told myself, you know what, like I was really centered and I was really like at the top of my game with respect to like everything in life when I was dialed in and I was focused and I had goals. And to me, competing kind of put me in line with everything, as you get deep in prep, you get that mental clarity, you're super productive. Like obviously maybe not the last few weeks because you're so low energy, but like you're so routine, you're so structured that everything in your life kind of falls in line with that. And I told myself like, yeah, I could probably prep myself for shows. I have the knowledge. I've done it for people before, but I want to do this like properly, and I want to see how far I can possibly go. And I told myself, if I ever hire a coach, I want someone who's not only super competent and intelligent, but someone who's like cares for their athletes, you know. And I'd reached out to Khaled. I wrote to him on Instagram, and he was taking a while to write back to me. So I was harassing him. I was sending him emails. I was sending him text messages. I was like, yo, let's do it. You know, he's like, and I remember, I'm never going to forget this. He's like, yeah, you know, I took a look at your profile, and, you know, I just want you to know I don't really take everybody. I take serious guys, and I take people who I think I have potential. And he's like, I do think there's a lot of good work that we can do. You have a decent foundation, and I do think that we can make something happen. And I remember he was like, I'm excited to work on this project. So that's kind of how it started. And then I had my first meeting with him. And, you know, first time meeting a coach is kind of like very dry. You're getting to know each other, you're feeling each other out.
Like a
And
first date.
yeah, exactly. And what I appreciate a lot about Khaled is um, I find me and him are very similar. We're both like, you know, we're both educated, we're both science, we're both like, you know what I mean? So like the connection with him was, it was easy, right? Because, you know, when you're working with a coach, it's kind of like an intimate relationship, you know what I mean? And you want to hire a coach that you feel comfortable with on all fronts, and you feel like you can discuss almost anything, because sometimes, you know, as you know, prep stems further than just diet training, and sometimes you're in the office, you're just talking to them about, you know, shit that's going on in your life, and you got to be able to have that kind of relationship with your coach, right? And I think that me and him had, you know, a very good vibe from the beginning. We've never bumped heads, we've never had any disagreements. I brought things to the table that, you know, he took into consideration and let me take the lead on certain things, which I do appreciate. You know, I think a coach that says, you know, my way all the time is the only way is, you know, it's I don't like that. You know, coaching, it's a two-way street. You got to listen to your athletes as well. So with that being said, I don't think I could have found a better coach who's a fit for me. And I really 100%, I even told him when he price dropped me, I was like, bro, you could have told me double the price. I don't give a fuck. I still would have hired you. I would have found a way to make it work. Like, I was dead set on hiring him.
What were your expectations when you went into his office? Like, what did you tell him the goal was?
At first, I went in there with the goal to just like compete and do well. And after last year, he's like, you know, I really think that with time, we can probably get a pro card. I think a pro card could be on the table with time. And I wanted to set my expectations accordingly. And I don't want to go into any show thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to win my pro card. I know I still have like a shit ton of work to do and a few years before I get there. But I think that was one of the first compliments he gave me was after nationals last year. And he's like, you look really good compared to these guys from the front. If we can build the back, you could do some damage. And it was at that point, you know, I had a discussion with my wife, and I was like, you know what, like, I think I want to try for the pro card. I think this is going to be the new goal. So the goal went from just competing to having fun to like, no, let's try to make this happen. Let's see if we can get a pro card within the next 2 or 3 years. I told myself my timeline was by the time I'm like 35, 36, I'd like to be competitive for the pro card. And then after that, like maybe do a show. Why not? I know I don't really stand any chance in the pro leagues, but I think it would be fun to say, yeah, you know what? I stepped on a pro stage, and, you know, my wife was super encouraging and super motivating towards that goal. And she's like, yeah, you know what? Like, if that's what you want to do, I support you. And having the support from you guys on the team and the support from coach, like, I think it's something that can happen, hopefully in the near future, right? If we play our cards right and we grow the right way, pick the right show, why not? I won't be the best pro in the world, but I told him I want to add a fucking pro card to his list, so that's what I'm gonna, you know, bust my ass to do.
Beautiful,
What
beautiful.
about you, bro? How was your first interaction?
Well, I remember I was following Khaled for a very long time. So, in case the audience doesn't know, I'm born and raised here in Canada, but I'm from a Tunisian ethnicity, and Khaled is also Tunisian. So there was already that link, like, oh, there's this Tunisian guy here in Montreal who's a pro, who's competing at the Olympia level, who's doing shows at the Arnold Classic. Like, I've been a fan of Khaled for at least 5, 6 years before I even reached out to him for coaching. So that was
Yeah, so for those of you guys who don't know, our coach has actually competed at the Olympia, I think twice.
twice, and he went to the Arnold Classic as well.
Yeah. So he's got like some good competition history behind him.
Yeah, and you know what's very cool is that Khaled not only he competed at a really high level, but he brought guys to high levels too. So he was able to turn guys from amateur to pro. He was able to bring guys to win pro shows to qualify to the Olympia. You know, he's been there, done that. He knows the ropes of the game. He probably did, I think, 30 shows in his life, something like that. So
Hmm.
being with someone who has that much experience when it comes to competing is really to your advantage. But yeah, I've been following Khaled for a long time, been a fan of him for a long time, especially that, you know, where he's Muslim, he's Tunisian, just like me. I'm Muslim, I'm Tunisian. So I felt that kind of that link behind the scene, behind bodybuilding, having the same culture and the same religion. So I told myself if I was ever to switch coach, I think it would be with Khaled. And I remember I was coached by Claude, like a close friend of mine for 4 years. He was a childhood friend, but he never really turned pro or turned any guys pro. So it was more like of a friendship coaching relationship. And Khaled was coaching a very good friend of mine, Mustafa, at the time. And he brought him to nationals. And I was speaking with Mustafa, and he recommended me Khaled. And I said, you know what? Since I want to take this really seriously, I'm gonna reach out to him and see what it does. Reached out to him. We set up a meeting in his office, and from the get-go, I told him my expectations, and he humbled me really quick. You know, me, I was the type of the dreamer type. Like, yeah, me, my goal is to go to the Olympia, turn pro, patati patata. And he humbled me really quick. And I was like, yo, this guy, he doesn't believe in me or what? Like, is he doubting me? Does he not support my dreams? But I realized that's what I needed. I needed to be humbled down, and it made me evolve so much that even in the last 12 to 18 months, so many people reached out to me. They told me like, "Yo, not only your physique is different, but I feel like your mindset is different. You matured as a person," because it set my expectations closer to reality. Like when I did my first show, I realized how hard this shit is. Like it's so easy to say I want to turn pro, I want to go to the Olympia, but like you have to do it first to really know what it takes.
Yeah.
So I did
You're
my
also,
show.
you're also in a very competitive class and division, bro.
Yeah,
Like you don't have it easy. You know, it's not like me. There's I compete against two people if I'm lucky. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I remember my first show. We were 15 guys, bro, in the line.
yeah.
We had the biggest lineup of the show, and for my first show, I didn't even do novice. I went straight into the open, got top six out of 15 very competitive guys. That was really, really good. I had the feedback that we needed. Like I have the structure for this division. I have the classic shape. I just really need to build more mass and more density into the frame. And you know, thank God I'm not struggling with weight cap. So many classic guys, they struggle so hard to make weight. I was under my weight cap like 5 weeks out. So it's just about getting tighter and building more mass over size. But yeah, basically that's how I started with Khaled. Went to his office. We didn't do a show our first year. So I think I went to his office June 2023, and I told him like I will do a show when you think I'm ready to do a show. So he said let's do an off season and see how things go from there. So when I went into his office in June 2023, I was already on a cycle, but like by the end of it, so he said, you know what, let's just wrap it up, finish it. Probably did 5, 6 more weeks. Then we went into a health phase, completely got off, did a good PCT, and in what was it? January 2024, had my first off season with him. We built as much size as we can until we reached, I think, April, and then we had a look, and he said, "Yeah, I think you're ready to do your first show." So we prepped from April till September for Summum last year.
Mhm.
Had sixth place out of 15 guys in the Open Classic Physique, and we came off, did the TRT, uh, health phase, and then January 2025 we did our second off season together. Same thing till April, and I think beginning May or end May, something like that, we started prepping, and now we're here 2 weeks out from Summum Classic again, and we're pretty sure right now this year we're going to qualify to nationals. So it's going to be my first year, inshallah, hopefully doing two shows back to back. It's going to be a very cool experience, stepping on the national stage for my first time. So yeah, man, really looking forward to it. And right now, I think you're 4 weeks out. I'm 2 weeks out.
Yeah. So I'm about two, yeah, like three and 5 days or something, like 3 weeks out on Saturday.
I'm counting days right now. I think I'm 12 days out or 13 days
Yeah.
out, something like that.
I'm trying to like not even think about it, bro. I'm just going week by week. I'm just trying to like enjoy the moment, focus on like,
Yeah,
you know,
talking about enjoying the moment, bro. Like How are you dealing with prep right now at 3 weeks out?
Honestly, like I mean, I would get my wife to attest to this, but she hasn't, seen multiple preps. But I have to say it's the easiest prep I've ever had. Like honestly, it's been extremely seamless. And I think a lot of it has to do with where I am in life. I'm exactly where I need to be. We're under one roof finally, which is, a big step for us. And I think just having that comfort and that support, like how you were making the post in your community about your wife. And I think the key to having a successful prep is having a very, very supportive partner and having a very supportive community. So like, yes, she's there for me. She supports me. She pushes me. She tells me I don't look like shit when I walk around complaining that I'm fucking small, I'm not lean enough. So she's kind of like my rock during the hard times.
How's the difference for you doing because you did shows by yourself, and right
Yeah,
now you're prepping with your wife with you. Like, what is the difference? What is she bringing that is making your prep so much easier?
it's just the fact that like she's just there, that she's just present. You know what I mean? She doesn't even have to do anything because like I still feel like I'm doing a lot. I still do some chores around the house. I'm still working a lot. I'm not like kicking my feet up, being lazy. Even last year, I was working literally up until 2 days before I drove off to Toronto. I don't stop. Like I know some people get super lazy, to get super tired in prep. Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted, but like I'm still fucking foot full on the gas on all cylinders, right? And I think it's just the fact that like I know if I'm having a bad day or if I'm having like low energy or like anything, she's just there to kind of like pick me back up and push me and motivate me. Even some days where I'm like, oh, you know what? Like I don't feel like doing cardio. She's like, no, no, let's go, let's do it. Or she'll push me to like try to train a little bit harder when I feel like for me the hardest thing in prep is the training. My energy, my everything goes to I can't push. Like the will is there, but the body just doesn't want to move the weight.
Because the sleep is affected so much, right? The sleep is
No,
affected, and
not even. My sleep has always been shit. It gets better as I get in prep, right? Because I'm a bit more tired, a bit more exhausted, so it's a bit easier to fall asleep, even being on trend, believe it or not.
you're on trend. Khaled
Yeah,
has you on trend.
very very low dose. We're on
I
two
still
hundred.
haven't touched trend with Khaled, bro, since we started together.
He's not a big believer in trend, but
He's
we
not.
wanted to
He's not.
see we wanted to see if it was going to work well for us, and I think it worked in our favor. And we're on 280 milligrams a week, so like a very very low dose.
Because he
Like
tried it on Doji for Vancouver, and he told me he didn't like the look it gave him.
yeah, for Doji, I don't think it really responded well for him. For me, he seems. I mean, I'm sure we're going to have a discussion after we assess the stage pictures and see what direction we're going to go in. But so far, he's been pretty much like really happy with my look. Like I'm like on the verge of having shredded glutes since 6 weeks out. They're like almost there. So like there's not much more to do. My biggest issue is always the midsection. It's like I don't know if it's like the loose skin or what it is, but it's like I can't get those really, really shredded abs. Like I'm gonna have shredded glutes before I have fucking ripped six pack. You know what I mean? So I
Funny,
think
everybody like has their own spot where they struggle with. Like me right now, abs. I have veins all over my abs, but my glutes, they're coming in tighter. I just have that little bit of loose skin that I
yeah,
feel like is gonna take me one or two more preps for it to disappear. Way better than last year, but
yeah.
still
Also,
they're lean. I'm seeing lines in the glutes, but I still have that skin.
yeah, also when you fill out, right? So right now, yeah, it's normal that you're a bit loose because the muscle is like
Yeah. Flat.
the glycogen, exactly. So when he fills you out, it's going to push more against the skin and you'll see those lines. I had the same thing with Jordan. He had no lines in his glutes up until the second carb up day right before show. Then they were there, right? So it's kind of like, and he's also the first time he gets you this lean. So he's like learning your body in the process too. The same with me. We haven't been this lean last year. Like I'm leaner now than I was on show last year.
A little bit before you were talking about how you get more productive on prep.
Yeah.
I think it's like I 100% relate. Me from 20 weeks out to what? To like 4 weeks out, like the first 16 weeks of prep, bro. The something about prep, bro, is just waking up earlier, going to bed earlier, doing your cardio in the morning, being so structured with your diet, your cardio, your training helped me a lot when it came with coaching and business. It's just these last 3 weeks energy level. Like I think the hunger, the fact that you're hungry makes you more productive. And I
Yeah.
think that's why, like, even thousands of years ago, people were fasting for a certain reason, like, sacrifice reasons or whatever. Like, there's a benefit to being hungry, I think. It just puts you in a more productive state. It's just these last 3, 4 weeks of prep, it's not hunger anymore. It's just
It's
exhaustion at this point.
yeah, your body is fucking you're
Your body's
operating.
not made to be 5% body fat. It's just
Yeah.
looking to survive. And for the listeners, I started a meal prep business a month ago, which is like such a crazy idea to start a meal prep business 1 month out from a show, because it comes with so much work and it's doing so much better than what I expected. Like, I remember buying the first 50 containers, and I didn't know, like, maybe I'm gonna sell 50 meals in the first month. Bro, we finished 50 meals in the first 5 days. Like,
Yeah.
I already sold over 200 meals and we're under a month.
But imagine you didn't start this in prep, right? You would be less productive. You would be, now you're like, fuck, you're go, 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 go. And like you're literally a representation of your own business. So
Yeah.
like I think starting something in prep is the best time to do it.
Mhm.
It also keeps your mind off the prep because you're so busy focusing on the business.
But I'm also like super excited for after the show, because I'm like, yes, after the show I'm gonna have more energy. I'm gonna be able to push the business even more, create more content, connect better with my clients, fulfill my clients even more. And like, you're looking forward for the shows to finish right now, so you can do what you do best after. Like, I'm so looking forward to my off season. I'm so looking forward to build more muscle. I'm so looking forward to create more content, to post more, to find more business opportunities. And that's the beauty, I think, of it. Bodybuilding never ending. It's like either you're extreme off season pushing food, pushing weights to grow as much as you can, or you're in extreme prep mode, hunger,
Yeah.
starving. Like, it's hard to find the in between. Maybe that little bit in between, you know what it is? It's after the show when we're doing a little 10 to 12 weeks health phase TRT, where we just, like, chill a little bit. But I know that this year I learned my lesson from last year. Last year, my first show, 2 weeks after the show, I gained 35 pounds.
Oh fuck.
3 weeks after the show, even on a reverse diet, I was just waking up in the middle of the night, rice cake and peanut butter, rice cake and peanut butter, chocolate, 2, 3 cheat meals a week, and I gained 35 pounds in 2 weeks. And I remember, like, even when I would pray, I would feel my knees tighten up, my the water retention in my calves. Like, I would press against my calves, and I would see the thumbprint.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was tough. So I learned my lesson. I already know this year, like after Toronto, I'm gonna probably do 1 week, just vacation, chill,
Yeah.
have 3, 4 restaurants, maybe 5, 6, and then
But
get back home.
the thing is, bro, like, because like for me, my reverse, like last year, I was immaculate. Like,
Because you had experience, bro. You already did a couple shows. How
yeah,
was your first
exactly.
show? How was the experience after your first show?
Oh, bro. So let me explain this to you. So my first show, okay, was in 2013. I was 21 years old, and we had Cheesecake Factory
21.
in Canada at
You're
that time.
young, bro. 21 years old. Crazy.
Yeah, we had Cheesecake Factory, which doesn't exist in Canada anymore. And let me
No, they
tell
have
you,
one in Toronto. I looked it up. They have one in Toronto. I'm
oh,
going.
yes, they do. Sorry, they don't have it in Montreal. They have it in
Montreal.
Toronto.
Thank God they took it off, bro. I would
I
have
think
been there.
after my first show, bro, I went to town. I was sick for like 4 days just eating
Bro,
fucking
how is
bullshit.
it? How is your algorithm looking like? Because look at mine.
So mine is not a lot of food stuff. My
It's
algorithm on
all
YouTube,
Cheesecake Factory, crumbles, Cinnabons.
my YouTube is
Oh,
like that, but my Instagram, I really try to prime it for my business. So like even my wife on her specific business Instagram, I won't send anything that's not related to like fitness. So we really try to keep our algorithms with what we're doing. So right now my algorithm is really focused on like
content.
high converting like fat loss content and peptide content, because this is kind of the road that I'm going to start navigating into. Is I'm going to do a lot of content on peptides. So like a lot of my For You page is a bunch of stuff about peptides, weight loss, diet hacks, shit like that. I don't see much food. I see more on TikTok, um, but my Instagram is pretty clean, which is a first for me because usually it's full of shit.
So tell us a little bit about your first show and the experience after it. For maybe to give some guidance and help for people that are prepping for their first show.
So firstly, hire a good coach. That's all I'm going to say. Hire a good coach. Hire someone who, I wouldn't say you need to go with a coach who has the most amount of experience possible. There are a lot of new coaches out there who know what they're doing. They don't have a shit ton of prep clients. Like I consider myself one of them. I haven't put hundreds of people on stage, but I have a lot of overall wins. So find a good coach, find someone you vibe with, and um, enjoy the process. Like, yes, it's not easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging in more ways than one. And you're going to learn new things about yourself. You're going to test yourself in multiple aspects and give yourself grace. It's okay if you fuck up here and there on your first show. I get it. You know, we've all been there. Like I used to cheat all the time my first show. However, you just got to ask yourself how far you want to go with the sport. If you're really taking, you want to take this to go to the professional level and you want to see as far as you go, there's got to be a level of discipline and, sacrifice that comes with it. And believe me, I wake up too in the middle of the night and I just want to go and destroy and ravage the fridge. But I'm like, one, I don't do it because I don't want to disappoint my coach because I'm a representation of his work on stage. So I don't want to bring that to, the forefront. Two, if my clients did that, I would give them shit. So like, I don't want to preach, something and then I'm doing the opposite. So I try to hold myself to the highest standards too. So always just keep that at the back of your mind is right. And this goes with not just prep, but like anything in life. If you're saving for a house, but you keep spending money on stupid shit, you're never really going to save up for the house as fast as you possibly can. So same thing with prep. Every time you do something that kind of goes against what you're trying to do, you're just taking yourself further away from the goal and you're just taking away from the package that you could bring on stage. And then obviously over time, the more shows you do, the more preps, things do get easier and easier and you learn how to manage, especially if you go on the open side, there are products and supplements and drugs that you can take to kind of help with that. Like for me, a big game changer has been retatrutide and we're both on it. It's both our first times on it. And I have to say, in terms of hunger suppression, and for me, it was the food noise. I barely have cravings. Like my wife can eat stuff in front of me and I don't even I'm not even phased. Like it really doesn't even bother me. And it's the first time that I went this long on prep without cheating unless I was obligated to. So like I still had cheat meals up until last weekend. But
it's funny. Last year you didn't have cheat meals and I did.
Yeah, he cut my cheat meals out at like 8 weeks out.
And this year you still have cheat meals, but he cut mine out at like 6 weeks out.
Yeah, I think it's because I got super ripped really, really fast. And we took a 2-week extra to prep to account for my move to Mexico, just in case something were to fuck up.
Smart.
But I didn't, I didn't slip, I didn't miss the ball and nothing. And it's like I would cheat, like literally last week, not last week, on the weekend, we went for sushi. I'm telling you, I ate like a fucking pig, like maybe 1,500 grams of carbs in the whole day. I went up 2 pounds. And then I lost it the next day. So like my body is just eating everything up. So, and I'm not someone I've never begged him for a cheat or asked. He'll tell me, he'd be like, follow the carb up. So all the meals, all 6 meals. And then he'll say, have a cheat on top of that. And I'm like, okay, anything in particular? He says, no, have what you want. Just don't go crazy on the dessert. If possible, don't have dessert. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I have like a small little thing here and there, whatever. But this prep has been significantly different than last year. Last year, I felt like we were having, a hard time getting lean. I was doing twice the amount of cardio as I'm doing now. And I was on fucking 16 or 1,700 calories for 8 weeks, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about like what we're doing on prep. I want to talk about how my prep last year versus this year. Like for example, last year around 10 weeks out, it was very hard. Like I was already fucked at 10 weeks out. But this year, I was feeling super good all the way till 5 weeks out. At 5 weeks out, that's when I'm like, yo, the prep this year is easy, bro. Like compared to last year, it's really easy. But I realized something. When you get to a point that you're at your leanest, that's when it gets hard.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it has nothing to do with last year versus next year, but it's when you hit a new level of conditioning that you've never attained before, that's when it takes a hit on your body. So for me last year, that level of conditioning was at 10 weeks out. At 10 weeks out, I was the leanest I've been in my whole life. This year, I had to get till 5 weeks out to be at my leanest ever. Like at 5 weeks out, I was leaner than last year show day. And that's when the fatigue was really, now it's just unbearable, bro. Now it's from the minute I wake up till the moment I go to bed, every fiber in my body hurts. Standing up hurts. Walking hurts.
Yeah.
You know, we're so lean that sitting on our asses hurts. It's like
Bro,
bone.
I'm sitting on a fucking cushion. I complain all the time that my ass is hurting. But what's good about you, bro, is you have one more week of like hard dieting, and then you're in peak week. And peak week, it's what, 4 days, 3 days of suffering, and then it's a carb up, then a carb up plus fat load, and then show day, and you're good. You know, and then you're gonna have one more week of hard dieting, and then it's national, so you're gonna be in peak week again. So realistically, you have in the next 4 weeks, you have like 1.5 week left maybe of hard dieting, and then you're good, right? And it's really just cruising
Cool.
into it.
What's cool with Khaled or any coach that knows what he's doing is that nothing is prepped in advance. Like he told me have Subway yesterday, and I might go low till next time I see him because right now we're doing check-ins every morning.
Yeah.
I might just wake up tomorrow and he tells me refeed. You know, it depends how your body reacts to everything.
Yeah. It's that's another sign of a good coach is you can't preemptively prep. You can create a schematic, right? So like what he was doing with me last year is he would lay out what he thought would be the best fit for the week. However, those days were subject to change based on your look, right? You can't look at someone and predict how they're going to look in a week. So like to go day by day, I think makes a lot of sense, especially the last few weeks because your body changes very, rapidly.
This is gonna be a nice first YouTube podcast video, by the way.
Absolutely. It's going to be
Say
sick.
I say we talk a little bit more about the prep, like what we're doing right now on prep when it comes to cardio, training, food. Talk a little bit about PEDs, and we wrap it up with Q&A. And then
Yeah.
next week we can hit up more different topics.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
just a little bit. What do you do this prep starting from? You said you started at 22 weeks out because you added 2 more weeks extra for the
Uh,
Mexican.
we did 24 weeks out. We
24
started our
weeks.
prep. Yeah.
Tell us
So
a little
it's,
bit from 24 weeks out till now, what has been the process when it comes to cardio,
yeah.
calories, training, and PEDs as
Yeah.
broad as possible?
So because my issue has been size, especially in the posterior, so like everything back, we really tried to push as much as possible in the off season. We got up close to I think like 6,000 calories a day, uh, a lot of fucking food. Um, and then at 24 weeks out, so we did like a 4 week cleanup where we dropped the calories from like 6,200 to like 45. 30 minutes of cardio 4 times a week, up until like
How many?
60.
Four times, 30 minutes?
Yeah,
You
four
said
times 30 minutes. Not fasted. It was pretty much at any given time. At that time, I was usually doing it like post workout. Sometimes I would do it fasted, just because when I was living in Montreal, I had a treadmill in my condo, so it was just practical to get up and just do it.
nice condo,
Stimulate
by
the
the way.
appetite.
Remember, I
Yeah.
love the condo.
And then I would say starting 16 weeks out is when things started to happen. So like we were doing calorie decreases every 2 weeks, by anywhere from like 200 to 400 calories. So from 16 weeks out to now, we dropped from 4,500 to right now I'm at 20, like around 2,300 ish. And I still have carbs
How
three
much is
times.
your weight now?
I was 145.2 this morning.
And at 2,300 calories, how many grams of carbs you having?
Uh, Let me tell you
You're like 150, 160
more.
loading?
I think it's around 220 or something.
Not bad.
Let me see. So on my training days, 215.
Cool.
215 carbs, 320 protein, and the fats here, it says 26.2. It's a little bit less because the beef that I get here is 96.4 instead of 95.5 what he has. So like I'm probably around 24 grams of fat ish, give or take.
Carb cycling or just a consistent off day on day?
Well, we were supposed to start the carb cycling this week. He hasn't sent me my carb cycle diet yet. I sent in my check-in this morning. So we're waiting. I know we're going to start the carb cycle soon. So I have a feeling he's going to drive the carbs way down on a few days and then start to implement them back in, kind of like we did last year. Last year, we had 5 different diets. We had low day, which was pretty much no fucking carbs. We had a medium day, which I had like 40 grams of carb in post-workout and an apple pre-workout, all the way to a very high day, which went up to like 800 grams of carbs.
And a super low day too.
my low day couldn't get any lower, bro. It was like
Okay.
50, it
I remember
was
having a super low, low, medium, and high. And there was
yeah,
a high with cheat. Super high.
yeah. I for me, my super low, it was fish 4 times a day, egg whites, and the protein shake. It was like 1,600 calories. It literally couldn't get any. I had like no fat in my diet.
Yeah.
I had no carbs. I had 100 grams of strawberries post workout, which was like fucking 6 grams of carbs.
Yeah,
That's it.
same shit. Same shit.
Um, and then the very high days, yeah, I went up to like 800 grams of carbs, but no cheat for me. So that's pretty much where we're at now, and we're doing cardio 6 times a week at 50
Six
minutes.
times. Six.
Yeah,
Right now you're at 6 times 50.
yeah,
Jesus Christ, bro.
yeah, 6 times 50. But I don't do the Stairmaster because I have a bad knee, so we do incline walking, but like at a fast walk. Training 6 times a week. Then I do one rest day completely off, no cardio, no training, nothing. And in terms of PEDs, we're testing.
How open are we gonna be about the PEDs on the podcast? Just so we set up some ground. Like, are we gonna be open book, textbook, or
So I think out of respect for coach, I'm gonna say what I'm taking. However, I'm not gonna disclose the amounts because this is part of his
yeah,
protocols.
of course.
So in terms of what we're taking for fat burners, we're on retatrutide, T3, Clen, and GW. And in terms of anabolics, we're on Test E, Test P, Masteron, and
You have access to Mast over there, or even since here you had some.
I had pre-bought. I pre-bought from him like 6 bottles.
The Excel.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
So I
bro,
think
the Mastodon shortage, by the way, it's everywhere. Like even the podcast in the States, everybody's talking about it. There's no
yeah,
mask. Whoever's selling you Mast and Primo is fake. We'll get up.
yeah. Unless you're buying directly from suppliers, like I have contact with some suppliers and I know the stuff is real. However, I didn't buy from that because I kind of have on hand already. But yeah, I had like 3 bottles of the Excel and then I had 3 bottles of the Hexaleaf, and I had some from my plug down here too.
I
Um,
miss Mastron and Primo, bro. I didn't have it like in fucking since April maybe.
yeah, Primo I haven't touched since last year because of the shortage, and I had pre-bought enough Masteron to last me my whole
You're
cycle.
the fucker who finished the Mastron, bro.
Yeah, I bought a shit ton. I wanted to be secure. Um, and then
The
yeah,
test
so
P, test P, Mast,
yeah, Tren, low
Trent.
dose of Tren, and we're doing Winstrol, and we just started Anadrol on yesterday was the first day.
You started Anadrol. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, we started at 4 weeks out. I think that's it in terms, and then the anti-estrogen, Aromacin, Arimidex, and Letrozole is going to be coming in soon, and that's pretty much what we're running.
GH and Slin.
Oh yeah, GH, yeah. So 10 IUs GH day. Shouldn't have said those,
Okay.
whatever. So yeah, GH we're still on, and Slin post workout.
You still have Slin post workout? Because on me right now he took it off. I don't have enough carbs to have Slin right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because I still have 100 grams of Carbolin post workout, we kept the Slin in, but I'm sure it's coming out with the carb cycle on the low days.
Insulin sensitivity is so fucking high right now that like the lowest I had before he took it off was like 9 IUs of Humalog, and you know how usually you have like a 45 minutes window after your shake.
Yeah.
Like, bro, me it was like a 20 minutes. Like I had my Slin, I had my shake. 20 minutes after, I felt insane. Like I had to get my meal.
Shit.
I was way too insulin sensitive.
For me, like I took my shot an hour ago, and
Retta
I'm like,
plays with it, huh? Retta really increases your insulin sensitivity. So
yeah, it makes you like in the off season when we were taking 25 IUs post workout, I was able to go almost 2 hours after my shot before I need to eat.
Yeah. But bro, I would never take Retta off season, huh? Because it slows down your digestion so much that even like on a cheat meal, I would feel like, yo, my digestion is so slower and like I would explode. Like I don't understand how some bodybuilders are taking Retta in the off
You
season.
take a low dose. I'm gonna speak to him about that because I want to do it in the off season to keep myself less fat. However, normally I have my cheat meals on Saturdays or Sundays. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Retta the day after the cheat meal. So by the time I come to the cheat meal or the carb day, it's kind of like out of my system.
I started splitting my Retta, bro.
I take it every day.
Yeah, at first it was 2 doses a week. Now I started splitting it weekly, like on
Yeah,
daily.
I find my energy has been significantly more sustainable since I've been taking it daily.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my process during this prep, and then we're gonna wrap it up with a Q&A. Okay. Um, Ended the peak off season around 5,000 calories. We barely just reduced calories by 400, and the weight started shutting down already really quick. No cardio for the first 2 3 weeks. Then we introduced cardio fasted on the treadmill. I have my treadmill at home, so I was doing cardio fasted. I think 4 times 30 minutes till I think 15 weeks out or 14 weeks out. Then we increased it to 5 times 30 minutes, and then we bumped it to around 12 weeks out. We went to Stairmaster, so I had to go to the gym 5 times a week, 30 minutes, and we bumped it to 45 minutes at around 11 weeks out, I think. Rendu là, 11 weeks out, calories were still something around 3,000, something like that. 9 weeks out, it dropped to like 27. And as time goes by, they just keep going lower and lower. And the lowest I've been on has been 2,300, and I've been like that for the last 6 weeks, maybe. Like diet hasn't really changed much in the last
Mhm.
couple of weeks. The only thing that really changed drastically for me is that I was having one cheat meal a week. That was nice, having one cheat meal a week was fucking amazing. But at 5 weeks out, he said no more cheat meals, just refeeds whenever I tell you.
Mhm.
So last 5 weeks, no cheat meal. Yesterday I was in his office. He told me, okay, I'm gonna give you Subway. I'm like, yes, that's the first food. Like, what's funny? 2 days before I was with my wife, and I'm like, yo, I miss us having a meal together. I can't wait to take you out after the show. We're gonna try so many fucking restaurants. And then
Yeah,
the next day I see Khaled and he says Subway. I text my wife, I'm like, yo, we're eating together today.
there you go.
So we got Subway yesterday, and
Subways, not a typical Khaled move,
I
bro.
know, bro, not
The
a
fuck
typical.
is
And
Subway?
they're like, yo, can I have some chips with it? He's like, yeah, have some chips with it. Bro, it's a two 12 pouces, 2 foot long.
Well, you gave me two footlongs.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Bro,
Jesus.
it was done in 5 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
It was
Bro,
done
those
in 5 minutes.
footlongs are like, it goes down like butter, bro.
So yeah, it was a pretty basic prep, honestly. Last year we had carb cycling really early, like 6 weeks out. We
Yeah.
didn't carb cycle. I think he played with my mind. He just had me on a low day and called it a training day. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, he's mind fucking me. This is a low day diet, but he just called it training day. So
Well,
I had
see,
training days.
he got you lean pretty fast this year, so he
Yeah.
didn't need to destroy you on the carb
But
cycle early.
bro, that's what I learned about competing. If you stay on your shit from show day to off season and you do it consistently, religiously, you just get better show after show. You just keep growing and you keep getting leaner earlier in prep. And it's about repeating. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. The more times you do it, the better you get at it. And it's just about not taking years off. It's about how many consistent years you can rack up back to back. The
Yeah.
more of these you can rack up, the higher your chances are to succeed in the sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Cycle wise, when I ended the off season, I was on mast, primo, and test. No, just test and mast. There was no primo. Test and mast and GH and Slin. Pretty basic stuff for off season. And then with the shortage, we started prep. We replaced the Mastron with EQ. Pretty much what everybody's doing. It's the most reliable PED. That does the same shit. So EQ and test E for the first weeks of prep. We didn't start any fat burners yet till like 16 weeks out. Then we started with Clen. We added Winstrol at around 12 weeks out. And then at 12 weeks, we started adding the fat burners, the T3, the Helios, the GW. Um, did some blood work. We added T4.
Fucking Helios, bro. I can't.
I know, bro. I fucking hate it too. And injectable L-carnitine. What
Oh,
else?
yeah, the injectable carnitine too. I forgot to mention that.
I
Yes,
love
ridiculous.
injectable L-carnitine, bro.
Yeah, the Helios. I told him I was like, bro, I will do anything you ask me. Don't
Just
care to not take that. It would make me sick, bro. You know how many times I threw up last
I
year?
have acid refluxes and shit from
Yeah,
it.
yeah, bro. I would throw up. I'd do the stairmaster for 10 minutes. I had to go yak. I was
Oh
like, bro, I'm not taking
my
this shit.
Yeah, but at this point, you're like, if he tells me eat rocks, I would eat it probably.
Yeah, I still refuse to do Helios. I'm not taking that shit.
And me, AI, bro, I aromatize quick, like more than the regular person. Because even last year after the show, 200 milligrams of test, fucking estradiol through the roof, you know. So right now I'm taking Aromacin, Arimidex, Letrozole. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Very, very regular stack. So the call, the thing is telling me we have 15 minutes left for the call. I'm
Yeah,
gonna pull up some questions on my end and let you know what I have, what people. I took screenshots, so I hope I didn't delete them because I was cleaning up my pictures yesterday. When was the day that I put? Okay, here they are. So I have. Damn, these questions are funny. Miael asked, "Can I be out of shape while being aligned to God?"
I'm sure you can. A lot
I'm
of
sure
people
you
are.
can. I'm sure you can.
A lot of people are.
Just by the way, like I think our body is um is a gift from God, so it's our responsibility to take care of it. He can't just give you a nice, good, healthy body and
Same.
abuse the fuck out of it and be incredibly obese, out of shape, and treating it like it's your vessel at the end of the day, and this vessel was given to us by God. So I think
Look,
the messages I preach is in our religion they preach you have to take care of your health. One day you will be judged for your health. So I think it could still be aligned to God, but it is something that you should work on.
what I tell most people is look at the most successful people in the world. And when I mean successful, I don't mean financially. I mean
Mhm.
any level of success. Everybody is well taken care of. They take care of their bodies. You can't perform at a high level if your body is not in peak performance. If you're too fat, too skinny, too whatever, like to operate at peak performance, you need to take care of yourself. And yes, I understand there's certain phases in your life or in our sport where you kind of push the boundaries a little bit on both ends. However, I do think if you spend the majority of the time in, proper alignment, you will accelerate in every aspect of your life. But it starts with taking care of yourself, because if you're not feeling good and your health is in question, everything else around you is in question. And this is a fucking fact.
Another question. We're gonna do them quick answers, okay?
Yeah.
Thoughts on steroids? Fucking awesome.
I have no judgment.
If
I
done
tell you,
correctly.
yeah, do what you want to do. Just do it safely and make sure you're on top of your stuff. If you're going to take steroids, do it intelligently, do it as safely as possible, and make sure that you're on top of your blood work. That's my
Okay.
thought.
Mustafa asked, what is your dream car? Me is RS7.
Oof. Uh, the Audi R8.
Okay, interesting. Mustafa asked also, tu as appris quoi de cette préparation? What did you learn from this prep?
For me, be grateful. I find like this prep has really put a lot of things in line for me in my life. And I've been the most grateful I've ever been in my life. Like I started journaling every day and night. And I am grateful for the small things that I would, never grateful for, especially now living in Mexico where things are not the same as Montreal. It's a whole different level of perspective and a whole different level of fucking
Different
gratefulness.
environment, yeah.
Yeah.
Me, what I would say, what did I learn from this prep? It's not what I learned from this prep, is what I know I need to learn from this prep is I want to learn how to manage my personal life better while doing bodybuilding because in case the viewers don't know, I have a 6-month-old baby. I just became a father recently and juggling having a baby, a newborn with a wife while being a coach, while having a meal prep business. It's like, I fucking love bodybuilding so much, but I'm not willing to lose my relationship with my wife and my son for this. I love my son and my wife way more than I love bodybuilding. And if I want to do bodybuilding for a long time, I need to learn how to manage both of them together.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you want to shoot some questions because I have so
Yeah.
many.
Yeah. I got one here. How did you and Taha meet? So for me, the first memory I ever have of meeting you was that Prestige gym when you were training with Ellie. This is how I remember meeting
Ellie, who?
Ellie, the Russian girl. I can't even pronounce her last name. I'm not even going to
I don't
try.
even remember her, dog.
Ellie O. Yeah, I remember you were training. I think you guys were studying some shit together. I don't remember, but I remember meeting you at that gym for the first time.
Crazy, crazy. I
Yeah,
remember you. I remember you from Prestige also, but I think it was a time where you started like a supplement company,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we
That was around the
started.
time I had my supplement company.
Now you're gonna have an even better company coming
Oh
up.
yeah, the real supplements.
How is Habibi Meals business going? It's going really well. So we're 3 weeks in. We already sold over 200 meals.
You
I'm
guys are
trying to,
fucking killing it, bro. They're
well, I'm
killing
trying
it.
to chill a little bit on the business now because with 2 weeks out and everything, and I want to make sure the orders come out perfectly. So I'm waiting for after the shows to really push the business to the next level. Like I'm talking next level website and orders and ads and stuff like that. Um, Go ahead.
I got one here. Are you two on the same team? So yeah, as we stated before, we are. We both started working with Khaled, more or less around the same kind of time frame. So yes. And if anybody is looking to join the team, our team is the fucking best. Not just because we have the best coach, but we have the best team cohesion, and you're gonna be part of a loving and supportive community. That
Yeah.
I
And by the way, one of the things that you said on the pod is sometimes you don't want to cheat because you don't want to let your coach down. Me, one of the reasons a lot of times why I don't want to cheat is because I don't want to let my team down. I feel like it's like we're in this shit together. I don't only represent my coach, I represent my team, and representing my team means I can't let my teammates down, you know? So I do it for my coach, I do it for you, I do it for Doji, I do it for everyone on the team. What is your favorite muscle to train?
back.
I'd say chest and arms, bro.
Chest, bro. I haven't
Typical
done I
bag.
haven't, I haven't done a chest workout since December last year, bro.
um, Advice to gain mass.
Eat,
Eat.
eat, eat.
Okay.
Keep
And
it
if you think
clean.
you're eating too much and you're not gaining much, you need to eat more. That's simple.
Yeah, yeah. Trust me. I thought I used to eat a lot before I hired my coach, and when this motherfucker pushed me to 6,000 calories, and he's like, we need to increase the food. I was like, listen, fucker, I can't. I'm fucking 5'3", bro. Like, how much food do you think I could eat? I
Go ahead.
got one here. Best way to avoid cravings on prep. Honest to God, if you asked me this last year, this would not have been my answer.
You gotta
Reddit
chew that.
time. I
There
will die
isn't.
on that fucking
You just
hill.
gotta. My answer is there isn't. You just gotta fucking handle it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Stop it out.
Hama asked vos objectifs à court moyen terme dans le sport. So your objectives long term and short term and mid term in this sport.
So my short term is going to be to compete at the North Americans next year and be in the first call out. Not next year, sorry. I want to take a full year off to put on like a shit ton of size. This is the short term. Medium term would be to place first call out the North Americans in 2027, and long term would be essentially to get a pro card.
Me, short term, like I have someone qualified to nationals. If I can get a top three at nationals this year, it would be fucking great because I don't want to do another regional next year. I just want to go straight to nationals. That's if I end up competing next year. If I don't, like Jess said, take a whole year off, come back the year after better. But eventually, the goal is to turn pro. And I have so much fucking passion for this sport that it's not my goal is not just to turn pro. I want to turn pro, do pro shows, compete all over the world, and if I get to step on the big stage one day, that would be an honor to me.
Oh, 100%. You got this, bro.
So
Does competing help your business? Yes and no. So directly from competing has not really brought me much business in of itself. However, the whole process, the learning experience and everything has been something that's been translatable to certain clients. And it also, so like me and Taha were saying, when you're in, preparation for, a show, you have like this sense of like enhancement where you just want to be overproductive. So that overproductivity has helped the business in itself. So prep as its own thing has not helped the business, but the consequences of going through a prep has helped business. So yes.
me, I would say bodybuilding doesn't bring you any money, right? Like doing shows will not bring you. Au contraire, the opposite is going to drain your wallet. Unless you're doing pro shows where they're paying you peanuts, which is disrespectful. Like you're spending probably 10K on the prep, and pro shows are paying you 3K, 4K for first place winner. So no, bodybuilding, prepping for shows doesn't bring you money. But I made my living for the last 5 years because I'm a bodybuilder. Like I didn't compete till I was 29, but I was an independent entrepreneur from the age of 24 till 29 because I'm a bodybuilder, because I train, because I eat, because my goal is to compete. So bodybuilding did bring me my income, but not directly through competing, just through the lifestyle that I live, that I preach. And yeah, so bodybuilding directly didn't make me money, but the lifestyle itself, what I preach, what I learned from it, is what made the career that I have today.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have more questions. Are you natty? What's your first sheet a meal post show?
Oh fuck. I was gonna ask this. Yeah, what are we doing post show? Because last year I kind of dipped. Like I feel so bad. I left the team. I didn't go out to eat with anybody. I just wanted to go home, call my fucking wife, and just have a meal. This year, we're going out with the team. We're gonna fucking stuff our faces. What are
Bro,
we getting, bro?
I fucked up. Look, I already have in my notes Toronto's spots to try, and I have like Crumble, Cheesecake Factory, IHOP, Popeyes, Benny's Barbecue, Amadou's Patisserie, Chocolat Favori, Pizza to Go, Chain Smokers Barbecue, El Furat, Cinnabon, and I think the list is only gonna get bigger from here and now. So I don't even know what I'm gonna cheat, but I know I'm gonna
You,
eat everything,
you
bro.
know what you got to do, bro? Do like what me and my wife do is write them all down on pieces of paper, put them in a cup, and
And
just
pick
pick.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, c'est quoi le beat dans ton posing routine pour le show? What is the song for your posing routine? Did you pick, bro? I didn't even pick my song yet. I didn't even, bro. The girl from the competition texted me. She said, "Yay, you need to send me the song in the next 7 days." I didn't do
Yeah,
I didn't practice yet.
yeah.
Nothing.
So I'm not going to disclose my song yet. However, I'm going to tell you guys it's divorced dad rock music. Usually when I pose to, the band is going to be Creed, but I'm not going to tell you the song. Y'all going to have to wait to see that routine.
My wife left me a question. She said, "What's the biggest life lesson you've learned from fitness?" Go for it first.
Biggest life lesson you learned from fitness? Um,
Nice question.
honestly, like there's so many angles you can answer this. I think taking care of yourself, like fitness stems further than going to the gym and training. Fitness is really ultimately, are you like a fit individual? Do you take care of yourself? Are you someone who's healthy? So yes, bodybuilding on the side that we do, I wouldn't really necessarily consider it healthy. However, the foundations of what we do day in, day out, helping people be the best versions of themselves, I think this is the most important thing when it comes to fitness is wanting to spread the good word of how to get people in, the pinnacle of health. And I think this is the most important thing when it comes to fitness is putting yourself first in, a health aspect. So that way you can excel in everything else in your life.
Me, I would say honestly, the biggest lesson I've learned is discipline over motivation, and this mindset you can apply it to everything in life. Like fitness, what it taught me is that 7 times out of 10 we're not going to feel like training, we're not going to feel like dieting, we're not going to feel like doing the work necessary to be fit, but we still fucking do it because we're disciplined. And that mindset can literally be applied into anything in life, and if you apply it right, you will succeed in anything, whether it's business, whether it's school, whether it's relationship. When you have a commitment to something and you're disciplined to it and you do it regardless of your feelings, you will excel in it. So
100%. Guys, motivation is fake. It does not exist. There's no such thing as motivation. It's motivation comes from results that are based off doing repeated actions daily. Your will and ability to want to do those repeated actions, regardless of how you feel, is called discipline. Who wanted to go to school every day in high school? I used to be bullied relentlessly. You think I wanted to go to fucking school? No, I went because I was disciplined. I had to. And I'm grateful I did because it pushed me to go to university to allow me to know that this is not what I wanted to do to start my business. And that's why I am where I am now, living the life that I want, working for myself, supporting my family, and, funding all my ambitions in business because I had fucking discipline. If I went and steered my life based off motivation, I'd be working at fucking McDonald's right now.
love it, love it. So 1 minute left on the call. I probably need to buy Prime so we can do these a little bit longer and not rush. But
Absolutely. But
last
yeah,
thoughts. That
it
was
just
our first podcast episode together. I really fucking enjoyed it. It actually felt good just talking to someone on prep and releasing a lot of shit that was inside. Looking forward for the next episode, hopefully next week.
yes,
If
sir.
you guys have any questions, drop them in the comment section. And yeah, that's it. Any last thoughts? We have
And
30 seconds, bro.
anything you guys want to hear from us, let us know. Send us DMs, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
My
Uh,
Instagram is therapy coaching. What's your Instagram?
Fit Coach Jesse, fit.coach.jesse.
Perfect. Make sure you guys go
Find us
follow this
there.
page.
We're going to do these weekly, and we will have a few in-person ones coming up in the next 4 weeks. So stay tuned for those. We love you guys. We appreciate your support, and we will see you on the next one.